This is be the first in a series of community education forums. The goal is to help educate the community on what some of the policing policies are, also to help rebuild some bridges that might have been burned a little bit between the community and the police department. So we hope that it will be a win-win for everybody at the end of this event.
Most of our patrol division and the traffic division, we wear the uniform that I have on now. We do have guys that are in traffic or on patrol that do other things like our emergency response team, and they're allowed to wear their tactical uniform on certain days. So you may be stopped and see an officer wearing what I have on, and then you may see another traffic stop where an officer's wearing a more tactical uniform like the military BDUs. We also have officers who are on bicycles. If you guys haven't been downtown and are aware of our bicycle patrol, they may be wearing a yellow shirt, just more high visibility. Just so you know, those are police officers. You may also encounter a police officer in plain clothes. All our detective division, they all have assigned police cars, they all have blue lights, they're allowed to make traffic stops also. So you may be stopped by a plainclothes officer. If a plainclothes officer stops you, however, he is required to carry his, what we call our credentials or his police identification, and he must have his badge. Upon your request, if you would want to see his credentials, he is, by policy, supposed to show you his credentials. The next point I want to touch on real quick are unmarked vehicles. The Fayetteville Police Department, we have a lot of non-traditional police vehicles. Not every car we have is a Crown Victoria. We have some pickup trucks, we have some SUVs, we have new Dodge Chargers, and some of those are not marked. They're all different colors. I even saw a red car today, it's the first time I've seen it. So if you are stopped or someone gets behind you in an unmarked police vehicle, I will let you know that the Fayetteville Police Department, we only have blue lights and white lights on the fronts of our vehicles. On an unmarked vehicle, there are no amber, no orange, no red. There are only blue lights on the front of an unmarked vehicle. If at some point during this stop you decide that you don't really think this is a police officer, you always have the option of picking up your cell phone and dialing 911 to confirm with our communication center that I am being stopped by a Fayetteville police officer.
A consent search is simply just a search made based on voluntary consent of the individual whose person or property is being searched. This is a search in which you, the individual, controls. A consent search does not require a warrant or probable cause. It's not required, and it only requires a person with proper authority to consent to the search. In subsection 3.5.2 under consent searches, this is not the entire policy, but I wanted to highlight some of these for emphasis. The first one is that consent to search, given freely and voluntarily, does not require that the person first be warned of his right to withhold consent or his right to withdraw. This is upheld by our Supreme Court. The second is that officers shall not request consent to search any vehicle based upon a mere hunch of criminal activity. Although as a matter of law, no such showing is required, officers shall articulate at least one reasonable factor that the driver and/or occupants may be involved in criminal activity.
Officers make requests and they make commands. A request to search your vehicle, you can say, no, I don't give consent. A command to get out of your vehicle because it's reeking of alcohol is a command, and you have to do it. And the failure to do that, of course, could result in resist, delay, obstruct, or some other charges. I'm pleased to say that the Fayetteville Police Department, despite having no legal requirement to use the consent form or no legal requirement to outline all these things that he discussed, has agreed to do just that. And I think that speaks volumes in our efforts to make this a better community for all of us.
We want to live in a safe community, and we want to be treated and treat people with dignity and respect. Tonight, we can use this as that very important first step for more conversation and more dialogue. Substantive matters. We've got important work to do. We have got to get together and work on the fundamental and significant issues that plague our children, our families, and our future. When we have those discussions, this room should be filled. That's how we can continue the journey to a great city. Perhaps tonight, in this first step, we can make a commitment to each other, a commitment for open dialogue and frank and sometimes painful discussion, a commitment to work together for that city that you and I dream of. Thank each of you for coming tonight. May God bless each of you, and may God continue to bless our great city.